Ayo, and what is up, gang? Thank you so much for checking out Sledgehammer TV today. It is Friday, January the 19th, and we are here with your first installment of the Weekend Wrestling Update. Right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, baby. The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. So, let's do it.
Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
Alright, wrestling fans, thank you so much once again for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. This right here is my little buddy, the World Heavyweight Champion of Microphones, Blue the Snowball. And this is the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show right here on Sledgehammer TV. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Do not forget to please leave a thumbs up, share this video with your friends, and if you are not among the masses that have joined this week, as the subscribers have been coming in almost by the minute, please feel free to do so right now. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and join the notification squad. Become a member of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Club family today. And let's get this show started. I feel terrible. I've obviously got a little something going on, so let me apologize right now. If I sound a little off, do not adjust your microphones, or my microphone. Do not adjust your volumes or whatever. As you could see, I'm not feeling too well, and I sound a little freaking weird. But we are going to move past that, and we are going to hustle through this show so that I can go rest up, because we got a lot of work to do today. We got a lot of videos in production, we got a lot of things going on, and I'm actually glad that there's not too much news happening right now. And we are here to bring to you the most relevant of those stories. I had to pick and choose because there really wasn't much going on. Most of today's stories, news stories, are not news, or they ended up not being anything that big at all. We are going to cover all of those things here today. Thank you again for joining me. Follow me on Twitter, @NickNightmare. You see it right there. Also, follow us on Facebook. Go become a fan of the Facebook page over there. You can check it out. It's spelled just like that, so you can go do that. And we dropped a video covering the Mixed Match Challenge. Week 1, episode number 1, Finn Balor and Sasha Banks versus Natalya and Shinsuke Nakamura. Full coverage on that one. Go check that one out. The response on that video has been huge. Absolutely huge, and I want to thank all of you once again who came in and joined us off the strength of that video. Absolutely fantastic. Welcome to the family, and enjoy yourselves today, despite my disgusting voice and the way I probably look. But you don't have to tell me about that, because I feel exactly the way I look. Tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit about some Impact news, because they are making moves. They may not be gigantic moves, but I'm going to give you a few reasons why you may want to tune in to Impact. They have taken a venture and have partnered with a certain streaming service that I have checked out, and you guys might want to check it out too. Tune into that one to find out more about that, as well as this week's Raw and SmackDown live reviews were up earlier this week. The Raw show this week might be one of my, if not the best show I've ever done. I was very proud of that one. If you missed it, make sure you go check it out. Right now, let's get these ridiculous news stories out of the way. Not that they're ridiculous. Let's call it what it is. It was news when it was reported. When I read the headline, I was like, oh, we got some news going on, right? But then I read the story, and it's just like, But I'm going to tell you guys what we found out this week. Let's start off with this one. Kevin Nash, originally advertised to be part of Raw 25, will not be making the show. Let's find out why. Despite being advertised, Kevin Nash says he is unable to make an appearance next week at Monday night's Raw 25th anniversary episode. Nash sent out a tweet saying he was looking forward to being a part of Raw 25, but it is nearly impossible to travel on his downsized airlines in a healthy manner. With a total knee replacement, it would be self-inflicted torture. He's not going to be able to make it, and he says he will see us all at WrestleMania. Again, this is really non-news. It's not going to have a tremendous impact on how this Raw 25th anniversary show is going to come off just because Kevin Nash is not going to be there. Sure, we got Scott Hall, who has been confirmed for the show. It's also been rumored that the WWE contacted him and asked him to bring his ring gear. I don't know how good of an idea that is, but we'll have to see how that plays out this coming Monday night on the anniversary show. Does it really matter to you that Kevin Nash is not going to be there? I'm a big fan of Kevin Nash. I'm an NWO guy. My blood bled black and white in the 90s. I was all about it. I was a big fan of Big Daddy Cool. Even if they were going to go that route and they were going to bring out the Big Diesel character. Or maybe we're going to see Razor Ramon and we're not going to see an NWO Scott Hall. Without Kevin Nash, does it matter? No. It doesn't matter. I feel bad he's not going to be there. I was looking forward to seeing what they would do. He was a very big part of Monday Night Raw in the 90s. He was the champion, the longest reigning champion of the 90s. But does it matter? No. Go sit home, fix your knee. We'll see at WrestleMania. What I don't understand is, how are you going to get to WrestleMania if you can't get to Raw? If you can't travel, you can't travel. And we're talking about a couple of months down the line. Maybe he's just not at the point where he could travel yet. And I'm being a little hard on him. But, you know, who cares? Really. Not me. We'll see you when we see you, Kev. Fantastic. Let's move along. One of the more interesting stories that popped up during the week, that again ended up really being uneventful, is that Pro Wrestling Sheet confirmed that Jey Uso was arrested over the weekend in Texas for allegedly driving while intoxicated. The current SmackDown Live Tag Team Champion was released the same day, released from prison, not from the WWE, on Sunday. According to a rep for the arresting agency, Jey was pulled over around 1 a.m. for a traffic violation, and the officer observed signs of intoxication. A field sobriety test was then administered on the wrestler, and it was determined that he was showing signs of being under the influence. Under the influence of what? We don't know. Jey Uso, real name Joshua Fatu, was then charged with a DUI and taken into custody. We're being told that the records do not currently show if he even ever took a breathalyzer test. A rep for the WWE told F4W Online, that's Dave Meltzer's site, Joshua Fatu is responsible for his own personal actions. We are investigating the matter and awaiting information from local law enforcement officials. No further details have been made available at this time, but Jey was on SmackDown Live this past week following the incident, so it doesn't appear that it is that serious of a situation. I would be very, very upset if something happened to dethrone the Usos. You know, maybe he had one drink too many. Maybe he smoked a little herbal medicine. Maybe he was a little sleepy. Maybe he wasn't under the influence of anything and he was just really tired. We don't know the facts. But, like I said, he was on SmackDown Live. So how big of a problem could this really be? The WWE is notorious for pulling the trigger very, very quickly when something in the public comes up that can give them some sort of bad, negative press. So I don't foresee this being a very big deal coming down the line. Uneventful. Not really news. He was arrested. He was released. We all been there. I'm sure many of you have been in a situation where you've been under the influence and doing something maybe you should not have done. Maybe you got away with it, maybe you didn't get caught, but it's something that happens. You know, it's a lack of judgment. It's not something that I'm condoning. He obviously was not thinking clearly that night. Why would you want to jeopardize your whole entire situation? You are the current SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. Why would you want to damage that? And anything that you do consequently affects your brother as well. So, you know, let's use some better judgment in the future, Mr. Us. Moving along once again. We had a big story pop. Big story. Roman Reigns being implicated by some guy in a steroid scandal. Again, ended up being nothing because Roman Reigns came right out and said, I don't know who this jerk-off is. I've never heard of this company. This is ridiculous. And squashed the whole thing almost immediately. Let's talk about the official statement from the Pro Wrestling Sheet and Ryan Satin. Pro Wrestling Sheet has received a statement from Roman Reigns about the recent interview in which he was tied to a steroid distribution ring. For those of you who may have missed it, Roman Reigns was named by jailed steroid distributor Richard Rodriguez as a former client in an interview he gave to filmmaker John Bravo about his Miami-based company Wellness Fitness Nutrition, which was raided by the DEA last year. Reigns says, and I quote, "I have never heard of Richard Rodriguez or Wellness Fitness Nutrition. I learned from the mistake I made nearly 2 years ago and paid the penalty for it. Since then, I've passed 11 tests as part of the WWE's independent drug testing program." Now, I could be an asshole right now and say, of course you passed the test, because they're going to make sure you pass the test, because you are the agenda. You are the golden boy. You are going to be protected. So even if you fail at this point, we'd probably never really know the truth. That would be the asshole in me talking. But I have no reason to believe that this guy is telling the truth. He also implicated celebrities like Marky Mark, Mark Wahlberg, and countless others. I think Vin Diesel. This guy's looking maybe for a cash grab, or is just looking for attention, reporting false news. And that's not what we're about here. And the fact that Roman came right out and addressed this and very matter-of-factly said, not in these words, but he said, "This guy's an asshole. I've never heard of him. Get the hell out of here." And good for him. Good for him. I can only hope that this is the truth and that this story doesn't come out maybe a week or a month or two down the line as being factual, and then this man will have effectively lied to all of us, making us hate him all even more. But in the end, not a story. Sounded like a story when I read the headline, but as the news developed throughout the week and he came out and made the statement, it is clear that this is nothing but bullshit. So let's move along to the only story that we have today that has any relevance at all. That means anything. And that's going to be a little bit fun to talk about, as the WWE recently announced the arrivals of the 2018 Recruits to the WWE Performance Center, and I could not be happier. Take a look at this group. Check them out. We got Ricochet, Candice, LeRay, and the War Machine. I'm very excited about all of the prospects that lie with the arrival of these 4 individuals. Let's talk about some of the facts right now. The WWE announced that former Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling Tag Team War Machine, I hope I'm pointing at the right side this time, have checked into the WWE Performance Center. WWE.com made the announcement and referred to Raymond Rowe and Warbeard Hansen as one of the planet's most ferocious and intimidating tag teams. The duo are former ROH and IWGP Tag Team Champions. Look at these guys. Look at them. I don't know much about them. I have not been exposed to them. I haven't seen much of their work at all. But I could tell you right now, just by looking at these two behemoths on this screen, I want to see them brought up into NXT immediately and go up against the Authors of Pain. We finally have a team on the roster that looks like they could go and could be believable in actually defeating the dominant and the absolutely fantastic team of the Authors of Pain. Then I can't wait for the War Machine to just pretty much take their place. Eviscerate them, get them off of NXT, show them who's boss, and then they can move up to Raw or SmackDown Live and help the floundering tag team divisions up there. But War Machine, man, look at these guys. Imagine them in the ring with the Authors of Pain. You know, NXT tried to do this with Heavy Machinery. They tried to almost make their own War Machine. And the guys were kind of entertaining. I didn't mind those two. But look at these two. Holy shit. I cannot wait to see them in the yellow brand. It's going to be fantastic. As we reported to you guys last week on an earlier episode, the Mae Young Classic competitor Candice LeRay is officially a WWE wrestler now. We announced her signing a few days ago, and she, alongside these men, has arrived at the WWE Performance Center and will be beginning training soon. You see, I don't feel good and my shit's all over the place, and I apologize for all the flubs, but we are almost at the end of this, and we are going to soldier on because we do not quit. Especially not on you guys. So, my sickness aside, let's continue. Candice is one of the top female wrestlers on the independent scene, an indie wrestling standout who is the only woman to hold the PWG Tag Team titles. She's also married to NXT superstar Johnny Gargano. Fantastic. She's going to be a lightning bolt in the women's division for NXT, and then subsequently when she comes to the main roster, which is an inevitability because she's that good. I love Candice LeRay. She's beautiful, she's talented, and she is a welcome addition to the WWE family. Finally, the coup de grace, the crown jewel of this class. Former Lucha Underground champion Ricochet has signed his deal with the WWE. That signing was announced on the actual 90th day of his 90-day no-compete clause with Lucha Underground, which I thought was somewhat interesting, but that, again, is irrelevant. And the WWE.com revealed the highly anticipated signing on Tuesday and noted that he officially reported for duty at the Performance Center. He is a two-time Pro Wrestling Guerrilla Annual Battle of Los Angeles tournament winner, and he is the second American-born wrestler in the history of the world to win New Japan Wrestling's Best of the Super Juniors tournament. He is also a former House of Glory world champion. I've seen Ricochet up close thanks to House of Glory this year. At Never Trust a Snake, he went one-on-one with the House of Glory heavyweight champion, the Amazing Red, and they had an amazing match. It was my first time seeing Ricochet in any capacity, and he absolutely took my breath away, and he is going to take the breaths away of everybody that sees him in Full Sail, and I can only hope that he does not fall prey to the curse of NXT when he gets to the main roster. We will have to see how things develop there. Ricochet going to NXT is going to be one of the biggest years in NXT's history. Ricochet versus Aleister Black. Ricochet versus the Velveteen Dream. Ricochet versus Adam Cole, baby. And then you have the War Machine coming in. You got War Machine versus AOP. War Machine versus Fish and O'Reilly. That's a money match. Fish and O'Reilly are badasses. They're old school like the Revival. They are going to be able to give the War Machine a fantastic match. Add in the NXT Tag Team Championships hanging over their heads. Fantastic. Candice LeRay, put her in the ring against anybody in NXT. You are not going to be disappointed. Mrs. Wrestling, Mrs. Johnny Wrestling is fantastic. And it's going to be a very good year for NXT. You guys, I feel terrible. I personally feel terrible that I sound like crap, and you guys had to sit through this episode with me like this. And unfortunately, like I said, there's a lot more to do today. So in the future, if you hear episodes where I sound slightly sick, you know why. And you've seen it and heard it here first on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. That's all we got for today. We're going to get on out of here. Don't forget to check us out later on in the weekend. We got more shows coming at you. I promise I'm going to keep this train rolling. We are going to try to keep this momentum that we are riding high on right now. And on that march to 500 subscribers. We are almost there, and I'm very happy to say that. But before we sign off, let me guys fill you in on another little thing. YouTube's changing the rules on us once again, and I actually really need to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of February. So we are going to shift the goal to that for now. And it's a much bigger goal. It's going to be a much higher mountain to climb, but I believe we can do it. And as I said, you guys are the key. So do not forget to hit that subscribe button if you made it to this point in the show and you haven't done it yet. What are you waiting for? Obviously you had a good time and you're going to come back for more. So hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, become part of the notification club, and then like, share this video with all of your friends. Be awesome. Check out Clutch Chairs. Follow me on Twitter. All that other garbage. I'm tired. We're getting out of here. That is going to do it. And we are out of here. And we will see you next time right here on the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. Let's go get some rest.